Welcome to Wawasan Wire. Today we're talking about Mas Ermieyati's challenge to the Minister of Tourism, Arts, and Culture.
Yeah, and this wasn't your standard back and forth in Parliament, was it? This escalated.
It really did. It moved beyond the formal setting, turned into this very intense confrontation, caught on video no less.
Exactly. A real display of political pressure happening right there, basically immediately after the official proceedings.
So the key players here, Dato Mas Ermieyati, she's the MP for Masjid Tanah, and she was confronting Dato Sri Chong King Singh, the Minister of Tourism, Arts, and Culture.
And it was heated. The core issue seems simple on the surface, alcohol being served at a dinner. But, well, it's never that simple.
No, especially when it involves foreign tourism operators and perceptions. So what was Mas Ermieyati's specific demand?
Straightforward, really. She wanted an apology. A public apology from Minister Tiong King Singh about the drinks at that tourism dinner.
And the video really shows her persistence, doesn't it?
Yeah.
She wasn't just asking once.
Not at all. She was actively pursuing him, repeating the demand. You could feel the pressure, the seriousness of it. It was quite something to watch.
It carries a lot of weight, politically speaking, demanding that accountability directly.
Absolutely. It puts a minister in a tough spot. For the opposition, it's a way to highlight cultural sensitivities, maybe paint the government as being a bit disconnected.
Right. Force his hand, either admit some fault or risk looking dismissive.
Exactly. But before that confrontation even happened, the minister had actually already addressed this inside the Dewan Rakyat Parliament's lower house.
Okay. So he'd already put his defense on the record.
He had, and his defense really hinged on making some very clear distinctions about the event itself.
What were those key points? Because that's crucial to understanding why he wouldn't just offer that apology later.
Okay, so point one, he stressed it was a private function, an industry-led thing, not official government business.
Okay, private.
Point two, it was organized and hosted by foreign tourism operators and other private companies, not by his ministry.
Right, pushing the responsibility away from the government side.
Precisely. And the third, maybe the most critical point for him organizationally, he stated very clearly that the dinner had absolutely no connection to the Malaysia Tourism Promotion Board.
Tourism Malaysia, basically, the official agency under him.
Correct. So if Tourism Malaysia wasn't involved in hosting or funding, well, the argument is the ministry can't be held responsible for what drinks the private foreign hosts decided to serve.
That makes sense from an organizational standpoint. You attend an event hosted by others, you don't control their menu.
That's the core of his defense. These were foreign business people being hosted by other private entities. International standards often apply in those settings, and that can include alcohol.
So his presence was about supporting tourism, showing Malaysia is open for business, not necessarily endorsing every single choice made by the private hosts.
Exactly. He's framing it as facilitation, attracting investment, bringing in those ringgit Malaysia.
A strong defense on paper, but politically, the lines can blur when a minister is the guest of honor, can't they?
They absolutely can. Optics matter hugely. But from his perspective, apologizing might set a difficult precedent. It could imply ministerial responsibility for any private event attended.
Which could make it harder to engage with international business partners who have different norms.
Potentially, yes. It could stifle things. He's trying to protect that ability for the private sector to operate according to, well, international business practices when they're footing the bill.
Now, I heard he did express some regret, though. Not quite an apology, but something.
Yes, that's important, expressing deep regret over the controversy itself, the fuss it caused.
So regret about the fallout, not regret for attending or for the alcohol being there per se.
Precisely. It's a subtle but very important distinction. Acknowledging the political heat without admitting any wrongdoing by the ministry, it's a way to try and lower the temperature.
Okay, so he gives us detailed defense in Parliament, expresses regret over the controversy, and then the confrontation happens outside.
Right after. He'd finish answering questions, likely still in the Parliament building somewhere, maybe the restaurant, judging by the attire.
And Mas Ermieyati corners him, demands the apology again, despite his earlier statement.
Yes. And the key thing here is how Tiong King Singh responded during that direct, quite intense exchange.
What did he do? Did he change his tune under pressure?
No. Reports say he stood firm. He basically reiterated his points, explained his position again, and explicitly denied having made any mistake regarding the event.
He didn't budge. That refusal, face-to-face like that, really underscores how important that private event distinction was to him, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. For him, backing down then would likely have been seen as undermining his own formal defense just given minutes before. It would validate the accusation.
And hand a political victory to the opposition.
Exactly. Agreeing that simply attending a private industry event where alcohol is served, hosted by foreigners, constitutes some kind of ministerial failure. That's a precedent he clearly wanted to avoid.
So why does this particular issue, a private dinner for foreign business people, become such a political lightning rod?
Well, it taps into that ongoing tension, doesn't it? The balancing act between attracting global business requires a certain level of, let's say, international accommodation.
And respecting local cultural and religious sensitivities, which are deeply important here.
Precisely. The opposition understands that invoking those sensitivities resonates strongly. It's a powerful political tool, regardless of who actually organized or paid for the dinner.
And Tiong King Sing, by holding his ground, is sending a different message, perhaps.
You could see it that way. He's signaling, maybe to the business community and foreign investors, that Malaysia understands international norms and is committed to facilitating business, even if it generates some political noise locally.
It's a gamble, though. Prioritizing the economic argument over potentially calming the immediate political storm.
It is. He is asserting that attracting tourism revenue, those valuable foreign ringgit, sometimes requires this kind of pragmatism. That facilitation role is key.
But think about it from the other side. If you feel strongly about those cultural norms, seeing alcohol at an event with a minister present, regardless of who hosted,
it can feel like an endorsement, or at least insensitive, and that's the political tightrope. Can a minister effectively support international business events if they have to micromanage every detail, including the catering of privately hosted functions?
It would make their job incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
Almost impossible, perhaps.
That's the argument. His defense is essentially about drawing a line. This is the minister's responsibility, and this is the private sector's responsibility, especially when foreign entities are involved. This whole confrontation is really a fight over where that line should be drawn.
So Ermieyati is pushing for that line to reflect stricter local cultural standards, even in private international settings attended by officials.
While Tiong King Sing is defending a line that allows more autonomy for the private sector and international partners, protecting the ministry from being responsible for their choices.
It really comes down to whether you, as an observer, accept his core distinction. Was this a government-sanctioned event or a private one he merely attended to show support?
If you accept it was private and foreign-hosted, then arguably no mistake was made by the ministry. If you feel his presence automatically makes it an official affair.
Then the demand for an apology makes more sense from that perspective.
Right. He sees himself as facilitating vital business, being a guest, not the host setting the rules. His refusal to apologize is a strong statement about those boundaries.
Looking ahead, what does this clash signal? Does this level of scrutiny make it harder for ministries to engage with the private sector for tourism promotion?
That's the big question, isn't it? Does the political cost of controversies like this start to outweigh the economic benefits of attracting foreign tourism revenue in ringgit Malaysia?
Will ministers hesitate to attend industry events if they risk this kind of political blowback?
It sets a precedent one way or another. It forces a conversation about how Malaysia navigates the complexities of being a globally engaged economy while upholding its own values. It's a fundamental tension.
A really difficult balance to strike, and one that's clearly playing out very publicly now.
It is. And finding that balance is crucial for the country's economic goals and its social fabric.
Definitely something to keep watching.
Remember to like and subscribe for more videos like this.